All right, everyone. Greta Thunberg intends to accompany an aid ship to Israel. This is an opportunity, in my opinion. Now, I've made it clear. I'm not Team Israel. I'm not Team Palestine. I'm Team stay the fuck out of it. But if we can do something about Greta Thunberg, that would be great because she's the premier face of white, rich, NIMBYist liberals. The most hated group in the world, according to me. I encourage Israel to bombard the ship, accidentally, possibly. You get plausible deniability. Sink it into the briny deep end, Greta Thunberg can fuck off. At this point, all she's doing is trying to garner attention. It is quite visibly clear. Attaching herself like a parasite to literally every left-wing moral cause possible because the left tends to be more pre-Palestine, whereas the right tends to be more pro-Israel. That's because I'm an independent. I really don't have skin in the game. But I hate Greta Thunberg. I hate NIMBYist. What happens is that you'll have like left-wing causes and people who are from wealth, they'll latch onto them and they'll parasitize them, actually. In fact, I would go so far as to say to the people that actually support Palestine, attaching yourself to Greta Thunberg and allowing her to speak for you is a terrible, terrible idea because she is completely disliked by not just right-wingers. There are plenty of liberals who fucking hate her as well. She doesn't even seem to, at this point, have the full support of her own family, actually. Apparently, there's some tie-in to her autism, which is severe, which is quite self-evident. I remember the time that, wasn't it Trump walked past her, and she expected to interact with him, and he just sort of ignored her, and then she screwed up her face in a bewildering manner, and was visibly upset. Happens all the time. Also, here's how you know that this is nothing more than grandstanding. This aid ship is not actually going to reach Palestine. The people organizing this are fully aware of the fact that they'll be intercepted by the Israeli Navy. Because Palestine doesn't really have any naval capabilities. At this moment, they don't even have really much in the way of ground capabilities either. And they don't have an air force that doesn't consist of hang gliders, so that sort of limits your options as far as retaliation goes. Israel's Navy will intercept the ship and take the aid and take it for themselves, effectively. You're effectively giving Israel a bunch of goods. Either that or they force you to turn around. And will say, look, we're going to fire if you keep moving. I encourage you to fire preemptively. I think that that would be a wonderful thing. Just blow it out of the water. Just bombard it, with rockets or some shit. Use an anti-ship missile just for show. Just blast it to smithereens. Because then we'll be short one Greta Thunberg. That sounds good. I would have to cheer Israel if they did that. And again, I'm not Team Israel with regards to what's going on in the Middle East. Uh, Beyond the joking, though, really, Greta Thunberg has become one of the most pernicious goddamn retards in all of modern geopolitics. She will latch herself on to literally any cause. The world is going to die because you have an SUV. We need to give more aid that will be squandered, by the way. The second that the ship hits the dock, you'll get overrun by people, or Hamas will steal half of it. What the hell are you going to do? The area's not... There's nothing we can do to solve the problems within the Levant region without outright annexation. We would have to launch a war of conquest and say, look, well, there's no longer a Palestine or an Israel because all the land belongs to the U.S. or it's part of the European Union now or something like that, and they'll just absorb them. That's basically the sum and substance of it. They know that the aid ship's not going to reach the coast. The Israelis are never going to allow that because they're going to intercept it assuming that there might be contraband, weapons, or something like that aboard. This is their standard policy. It's happened before, by the way, on numerous occasions. So Thunberg attaching herself to the aid convoy is really just, hey, look at me. Yeah, I made a speech at the UN once. I'm famous. Look at me. I'm on the aid convoy. And then she can go back to the United States after being detained, complain about the detention conditions, probably, complain about, the situation, and get on TV. That's basically all she wants. She wants to be on TV. She's a self-serving, spoiled little brat that needs a spanking. And apparently there's some very weird, thirsty dudes out there who would be willing to do it. And probably some really weird, thirsty girls. I never understood the fascination, but yeah, each to their own. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, I have a feeling that it would be more of a hump it and dump it sort of situation with most of these people, but yeah, I mean, if you're fetishistic for somebody who's going to be completely loud, irrational, and grumpy all the time, and apparently never takes joy in life, well, again, if that's what you're into, take one for the team. Somebody please date Greta Thunberg and fuck the stupid out of her, so that she calms down a little bit. Because she's so massively autistic, she's probably got some hang-ups, but I'm sure that you can make it work if you're Don Juan or something like that. So just take one for the team, please. Either that or Israel. Can you please just blow the boat out of the water? Can you please just blow the ship up into a million pieces? The world would thank you for that one. That's about all. Peace out.